I'm Jeanette Keynes from Jewelry Arts Inc. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to safely stretch a ring with the stone already set. Eee! Scary, right? Don't worry, I'll show you how to do it so you won't damage your ring. Ready?
Yeah.
So you see this beautiful, gorgeous rose-cut stone that we set just a week or so ago. The bezel is beautifully fit down into the shank. And we showed that too. Look at that, it's gorgeous. So, what could be wrong with this beautiful, amazing picture? Clients, that's what's wrong. So this ring is a 5.5, and as it would turn out, her client needs it to be like a 6.5.
Yeah.
So, stretching a ring after the stone is set is a very tricky business. There is a way that you can do it, and you know, in a lot of my videos I'm like, you can do it like this, you can do it like that, it's fine. Like, no, this is how you do this, because any other way. Basically, this illustrates the principle of the path of least resistance, which most people think about the path of least resistance just meaning like, I'm lazy and I buy the coffee that's on my way to work, or whatever. But the path of least resistance is like a real principle that works in something like this. So what that means is this: wherever this is thinnest or weakest is where it will give. Which is why a ring like this, if the stone wasn't set in there yet and the bezel wasn't in there yet and you want to stretch a regular ring shank, throw it on a mandrel, smack, 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 stretch it all you want, it's fine. With something like this where you have a thin bezel, if we put this on a mandrel and try to stretch it, what's going to give is going to be the thinnest part. That's the path of least resistance. The force always goes to what's easiest, which usually means your poor bezel is, so you can't do that. But this is how you can do it. Usually what I do, you could do this on a mandrel, but I happen to have this lovely stake sitting here attached to a stump, so I'm going to use that. What we can do to stretch this ring shank is we can hammer the back of this, but we have to make sure that the part that we're stretching is only part that's in contact. So in other words, you cannot take this, shove it on here and start hammering away. Your bezel will distort, your stone will pop out, all bad things. Okay? What you can do is hang it like that, or like this, and we're gonna tap a little, and I'll move to the next spot, we're gonna tap a little, and that is all gonna stretch. We'll sand it, we'll smooth it out afterward. It's fine, but it's just one of those things that you have to understand that principle if you're gonna do this, because otherwise, because who hasn't done that? I know. I never did that as a student after the stone was set. I was like, I'm just gonna stretch it a little bit, and the whole thing is like, it's terrible. So, but that doesn't have to happen to you. So that's good. So, I mean, because stretching it like this, we're just gonna take a small hammer, we'll tap it a little bit. And what I would prefer to do is not hammer an enormous amount in any one spot, but just kind of like keep it moving so that I'm stretching a little bit all the way around. Because this is not a super heavy shank anyway, right? So I don't want to like smash this a ton in one spot and have it be like much thinner, okay? If this was much thicker, you could really just hit it like in the center at the very bottom. Okay, so you have a ring mandrel over there? Oh, do you have the flat one, the one with the little flat on it?
I can grab it.
Would you grab it if you don't mind? Those mandrels that have the little flat on the top to accommodate for the stone. But so this works great. It's just one of those things that, like, if you don't know to do this, you are screwed. Now, don't get me wrong. You could also just cut a little piece out, take it to the laser guy, and have them laser that shit back together. But not everybody has a laser machine. I know I don't. So it's good to know the low-tech methods. Okay, so this is now between like 5.5 and 5 3/4. So I'm just gonna keep going, but definitely with something like this, something when you like do a little and check.
Yeah.
Because do you really want to like hammer too much and then realize like, oh my God, I've stretched it too big?
No.
You know what I mean? I have learned to be incremental when I work from years of bitter experience. So that's why I'm trying to just work the majority of the area a little bit because that's giving me a little bit extra length in my shank. Because ideally when we're done, it's just like, you know, a little bit of sanding and, you know, nothing too major. Okay, almost. So we're taking it to 6, right?
Yeah, I mean, she had initially said 6, but then the ring she gave me to check that she said fits that finger is a 6.5. So if we could do
what I would suggest is that we take it to 6, give it to her and have her try it on, because we could always take it back and stretch it more.
Okay.
That's what ring sizing is really tricky. People, no one knows what size they are, and mandrels are all different, and there's just a lot of, so for me, we'll do it to 6, and then you can try it on her, and we can always do more.
Got it.
We can always do a part B of this video if we have
That's a
to.
good plan. I think that's great.
And if I'm doing something like really fancy and complex for a client, I usually have them try the ring on before I set the stone. I mean, that's not possible in a lot of scenarios, but usually people are like, I've had this ring since I was 12 and I got it at a carnival, but it's exactly the right size. And then you're like, I don't know what that is. You know what I mean? It's just, it can be, it's like trying to buy clothes, small, medium, and large. Like, what does that mean? You know what I mean? Like, no one knows what they've got.
How did you choose the hammer?
I'm sorry?
How did you choose the hammer that you're using?
It was little, so it wouldn't leave a big mark, so I could also see what I'm doing. But honestly, like, I could use this one. I could have used one of the ball peen ones, a little planishing hammer. I'm not really doing anything very complicated to it. I just wanted to be able to see what I was hitting, so I picked something small. Almost. But like I said, I'm doing it in small increments.
Oh, that's good.
Because you look at this, and it's not hard at all to do. It's just understanding sort of the physics of it that's important. So you see how we just have a tiny bit more to go?
Yes.
So I'm gonna let you do it, but you see exactly what I'm doing, okay? You let it hang, tap, 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 and just work your way back and forth and just keep checking it. Once it hits 6, which you don't have that much more to do, you know what I mean, just to there.
Okay.
Stop, take it, you'll try it on her, and then we can always do more if necessary.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah. And then to sand it, what would I use? Like, would you use,
This, honestly, I just use a little green paper.
That's it.
Because that's why I'm choosing something that's not leaving like real big marks. Because like if you take a look, I don't know if you can see that close up, the texture is not really, you know, a big, it's not super noticeable. So a little blending with sandpaper is all that's gonna take.
Okay. Great.
Okay?
Thank you.